am going to show you something I ran across today again when I started organizing my images for glue booking, but I'm going to include it in my Society of Idea Collectors because it is kind of going to go in relation to my Syllables project that I am doing with Dede Willingham in 2018. I'm still organizing that. So this is sort of a Society of Idea Collectors glue book project. I'm going to set this aside. This is my 2017 Society of Idea Collectors journal. There's nothing in here that I need to show you except I put it out just to show you that it was Society of Idea Collectors. In a video not too long ago, I showed you how I made an envelope to keep images. So I want to do something similar to this with waxed paper. Now, let me show you where I'm going with this. If you're like me, and a lot of us mixed media artists and artists who do art journaling, we like to harvest magazines for words, interesting words, journaling spots. Ding! Open quiet space, when life hands you, make, straight, extra, 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 inspired by you, bringing love, hope, and encouragement. Make this a summer of flavor, Thanksgiving. Ding! Sweetness runs in the family. So we have all these words, and most of us cut them out. Sometimes they get mixed in our glue book images, and sometimes we straighten them out and put them in envelopes or put them in pockets, put them in our scrapbooks. We're trying to find a way to keep these. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is somewhat inspired by Dede Willingham and how she takes an image and puts a glue dot or a piece of double-sided tape on the back of the image and just puts it down maybe on her page protector, her dashboard, something that she can just lift it right up again. What I'm going to do is very similar to that. I'm going to show you what I'm going to use. I'm going to use wax paper. You'll want a lot of wax paper. It wouldn't hurt to go to the grocery store, go to the dollar store, get you another box of this. It is not expensive. I'm going to use my paper punch here, my crocodile paper punch. Use a paper punch of your own choosing. Elmer's glue. Elmer's rubber cement. For me, this is important to have. And then I put Elmer's glue in this little fine line paint applicator, and I am finding that I like it in here, but it is diluted. This is the same formula that I use when I do glue booking, which is in a jar here. I just poured it from here into here. And I mix this up by, I have a gallon jar of Elmer's glue. I mix 3 parts Elmer's to just a little less than 1 part of water. You have to kind of add that water, stir it up, see if it's the consistency that you think is good. Scissors, your words, and then I am going to make my own cover for this, just a makeshift cover. I do like to work on 12 by 12 paper, and so I have some empty paper pads, and I'm going to use this as a binder. And this sheet is just a sample sheet for me to work off of. I'm not going to be gluing anything down to this. I'm going to bind my pages with these metal rings. And I have the 2-inch metal rings. I think that's a little bit large, but this is what I have on hand. I may take them off later and put on smaller ones, maybe 1.5 inches, an inch. But I just don't have those on hand right now. I have several pages finished here. I like how they're going. I can just flip them. I can see my words. This is fast and easy. It's inexpensive. Look at all those words that were messy. Now, I do have a few in here that I did before I thought I'd make this a project. I have a few blank ones at the bottom. But what I thought I would do is show how I'm doing this. I'm using 12 by 12 paper. You can use whatever size is convenient for you. I'm also going to use this empty paper pad to make a cover for these. So what I'm doing is taking my wax paper roll, and what I found is I use my paper as a template, just put it right over my paper, and you want to bring it out maybe 2 to 4 inches when you tear. Okay. And then I usually put my paper back on top here. And then I fold it once like this to the edge of the paper. I'm just strengthening this side of the paper because it's the side that I'm going to make the punches on. And there's probably a good 1.5 inches on this one. I don't have them all the same size. You can see I've made some narrow strips here. Let's cut a strip to fit this size. And this is the back of a magazine cover. I like it because it's a little bit stronger paper. And let's cut this a little bit wider. And I'm not concerned about a nice even straight cut. I'm just cutting it. It's a little bit shorter than the 12-inch paper, but that doesn't matter because I just want to strengthen this side in here. I'm taking my Elmer's glue. Now see, this will be glued down. This is to the edge of the paper. This will be folded to the edge like this, and it will fold one more time. Fold it one more time over this way, just to get your folds in. It does not have to be exact. You're just strengthening the side of the paper. I'm going to pull out my template paper. I'm going to take my strip of paper here, and I'm going to glue it on the inside, right in here. I might need to trim that just a little. I eyeball this as I go. It's just, like I say, I'm not measuring. If you're concerned about having a nice, neat, accurate cut, well, then measure it. But for my purposes, this is nothing that requires a lot of precision and beauty. This is just something to hold my words so that I can find them when I want them. Glue that down. And I'm going to put some glue on it, on the top of that. Fold this over and glue it down. Then I'm going to do one more fold. And here I put a little bit more glue on the edges. Just a little bit more glue. And I fold it over and glue it one more time. And you can see that it is approximately the size of 12 by 12. Just glue it down. Now you have a nice strong edge here, so that when you go flipping your pages and you have holes punched in here, it will not tear. Now I'm going to glue down some of my words, and what I found is these are the larger ones that I cut out. Look, I have the dings. I'm going to put the dings down. I love the dings. I'll put them down first. I'll save that for later. Inspired by you, Merry Christmas. Will they all fit on here? Pretty much. I found a couple things here. We'll just put inspired by you. We'll put something else down there. If you kind of figure out what you want to put on here, you don't have to be precise about it. Just figure out what you want to put on. That'll fit in there. Just grab some pieces. That'll fit down in there. Then turn them all upside down. And that's just kind of something I've started doing. I just find it's more convenient. Turn them all upside down. I got scratch pad on there that goes that way. On the road goes that way. These are all upside down. Strong in America. I don't know which side I want. I guess I'm going to use strong. All right. Then think of your rubber cement as liquid glue dots. You don't need to glue everything. Just dot it. Dot it, dot it, dot it. And do them all at once. This glue is not going to dry off on you by the time you get it glued down. I just find this is a little bit faster. You don't have to keep pulling that little glue thing out of the bottle there. And I'm going to put my ding there. And you're just tacking it down. You're just tacking them down. In fact, you can kind of let some of these overlap. Just tack it down. Tack it down. Scratch pad. That's really kind of all this is. Tack it down. I'm going to move this one over just a little, because I'll be putting punches in there. Maybe move this one over a little too. And then tack it down here. I've got a little bit more room for a couple more on here. I'll trim this up. But see, I just don't like this having to constantly go to that glue bottle and take things out of there. And if you got a corner down here, you can put something down there if you have something that fits. I'm not sure I have anything that fits. This might fit. Get the goods. Flip it over to the back. I'm going to do the back here. In the driver's seat. That one there. Merry Christmas. Down here. May we help you? Trim it off here. There, I can put something in there. There we go, right in here. Get out my Elmer's glue. Tack, 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 tack. Just tacking it down here. Think of this as liquid glue dots. That's all these are, and they will pull up later. This is rubber cement on wax paper. This is a temporary bond. There we go. Got another page down. If you're doing something like keeping months of the year, days of the week, numbers, you may want a separate page for those. I'm hoping to get all the months of the year so that I can use them in my art journal or in my planner, on my calendars. They're just things I find in the magazine, different fonts, and just like that. So you may want to have a separate page for, like I said, days of the week, months of the year, different numbers, that type of thing. Now what I'm going to do is make a template. here. I punched some holes in here to hold my ring binders. And I think I will remove this cover because I know it's going to get wider. So I'm just going to remove it here. And we'll turn it this way. Maybe I'll go back and decorate it as a cover. But right now this is just like a temporary cover just to hold things until I feel like doing more to it. I'm just going to punch a couple of holes in here, and I'm going to punch them about 3 inches in on each side because I want to make sure that I get the cardstock that I put in there. So I think I'll punch it about here. Yeah. And right about in there, I believe. Okay. Now this sheet I'm going to use as a template to punch these. I'm going to start putting this together. Well, this is the cover. Take my rings that I've had these for a long time. I've just never used them. Open it up. Put it in there. Open it up. Put that in there. There we go. Here are my words that were such a mess. They are so much easier to find. But look, these are so much easier to page through and pick out a word that I want. Right? Well, let's show you how that works. Let's just take Grandmaster here. Say I found something that looks like a Grandmaster. You just want to get a hold of it and gently peel it up. It's just like a little glue dot on there. And you can even tack it back down if you decide you don't want it. Say you wanted listen instead. Here's listen over here. Listen. So just kind of gently peel it up. I wouldn't just rip it up, but because you could tear. You can tear paper pretty easy anyway, but just gently peel it up. Extra. They're just on there just like glue dots. You can tack them right back down again. So I will get me some smaller binder rings because I think these are too large. But they're what I have on hand for now. And I wanted to show you how I use this project. And I don't have a 12 by 12 book that will hold this. I've got 12 by 12 scrapbooks, but nothing that will hold it. And I don't mind that this sticks out over here. This is just something to hold my words. I might come back and decorate this. Just write words on there. Maybe do a fine line paint applicator cover here. That would be fun to do. Maybe I'll do that in one of my live sessions. So if you're frustrated with the disorganization of all your words, this is ding ding, inspired. Get the goods. It's where all the day's worries disappear the minute you walk in the door. It's home. On the road, scratch pad. It's there. I just love this. My words are no longer a mess. And I've got them on both sides. I really am happy with this. I really am. This is just cool. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next page.